Hello and welcome back to Crystal-Clair Divination. It is me again, Dina, and today we are going to continue our path with the Seeker's Guide to the Hidden Path. Alright, and once again, if you've been with me from the start, you're probably sick of hearing this, but I do believe this book is out of print, at least that's been my experience, and so these videos are to help those of you who have the cards, but not the book, or who are looking for the cards and already aware that you will not be able to get the book. So we are going to go ahead and jump right in. Now, where we're working today is on the last spread, the Three Realms spread. I absolutely love this spread. Now, you've probably heard me say that with all of the all of the videos. I do. I love all of these spreads. I don't use them, but I do love them. I really love the concept behind each one of these. I think that they're great. And after making the videos, I've decided I'm probably going to start using them. Now, there was the one spread that I do use, but I don't use it with these cards. These cards for me are more for meditation. I use them to check my soul contract, which is ironically what we're going to be going over a little bit today, going over this last spread. But I like to deal out the cards, and I'll place 3 cards, right? Because it's my heart's desire as far as my spiritual journey goes, and it's always accurate. What my goal is as far as, I want to be more obedient to spirit. I want to be more open. And then, of course, that means overcoming things like my self-doubt, my negative self-talk, listening to the negative feedback from people who do not care for me or have my highest good, in mind, right? And so that's how I start this one particular read that I do. I like to compare, put it there. I know what my goals are, right? But I like to do kind of like an energy check on myself, and then I lay out 3 other cards of where I'm actually at, right? Because, again, with my self-doubt, I like to know from spirit, how do you view me? Where do you see me at the moment? How do you view me in this moment, so that I can see that more clearly? Because oftentimes we're either too hard on ourselves, not giving ourselves enough credit, or we're doing just the opposite, which is just as harmful, where we're giving ourselves more credit than, I don't want to say than we deserve, but we're not really where we think we are, one way or the other, basically. So that's what I use these cards for, unless I'm doing a reading for somebody else, but usually these cards are used just for me. I think that's probably something I need to change. I don't do live readings very often anymore, but I may open this up, this channel, I may open it up to private readings at one point. For a while, I've been told that gets extremely hectic, but I may try it. And if so, if you want me to, I will use these cards. That's something we'll discuss at that time. Alright, enough of my rambling. If I don't watch it, I'm going to get myself a nickname. Let's see. Three Realms spread. That is where we are. Okay. I get confused way too easy. Okay. So for the Three Realms spread, I'm going to do that thing I do where I push the book up to the camera in hopes that you can see this picture. I am considering just taking pictures with my cell phone and posting pictures in community, something like that, just so that way you can, save them and have it. Now that I said that out loud, it's a better idea than I thought it was. Okay, pat myself on the back, right? Woo, we need a little positivity around here. All right, so moving right along. Okay, so another thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now because I don't know why I'm finding it embarrassing, but this space, this is a 7-foot table, and I have got so much stuff, but there's not a whole lot of space for working. But there is a good, 6 to 7 inches available over here that I can't get the camera to pick up on. So doing this spread, it takes up a lot of space, and it is not going to be pretty as I lay it out. So let me place the books to the side, and I'll just show you what I mean here. So obviously the card should be upright. It should be, 1 through 4 here, and then 5 through 8 going at an angle like this, right? Because these are the tree leaves, right? This is the trunk. These are the leaves, and then down here, you're not going to be able to see it, as just like with the other videos, and it's going to go at an angle. You can't see that, and it's going to go the opposite angle, right? Because as above, so below, right? So where you get a kind of crescent moon shape up here for the leaves, you get the opposite crescent moon at the bottom for the roots. But because I do not have space on here, then these cards, I'm going to lay them at a very odd angle. And since I already know that no matter what I do, you're not going to be able to see the cards at the bottom, then, these are going to go, I'm going to move these cards in a way to where you can at least get a little bit of an idea as to what it should look like across the top, right? So that is not helpful at all. So if I push it up, see, it's just, I don't think it's pretty at all, and I apologize for that. And then down here at the bottom, I'm just going to lay them out because you can't see them anyway, unless I push them way up here, right? And then we run the risk of my simple brain getting confused yet again. So, but this is where we are. This is what we're doing for right now, okay? This is not a tree, but it is the makeshift tree that we have access to at the moment. All right, now to begin the reading. Not the reading, but reading from the book. Go ahead and turn these over first because, you've listened to and endured my babbling. Let's go ahead and give you something to look at. And then, again, I know I say this every time, and you probably know, you really don't even need to hear it, but a notebook, right? You probably have one because the whole point of you watching these videos is to get information that would be in the book if you had it, right? So I'm kind of interested to see what you guys are doing with your notebooks as well. I can get a little OCD in that I break things down so much that you really have no clue what the big picture is. So I'm curious to see what your notebooks look like and how you organize things. Maybe you can motivate me to not be so OCD and simplify things, right? Otherwise, these videos might end up sometimes being over an hour long. Pretty sure some of us are too busy for that. All right, so 3-realm spread. This spread is designed to explore your current situation, the spiritual influence from above, and the challenges that are the roots of what you draw into your life experience. The concept behind this spread is connected to the teaching of the soul contract. This is a belief that the soul enters into each life with a specific plan, purpose, and goal. However, there are factors that aid as well as challenge the successful completion of the soul contract. The 3 realms spread can aid in viewing and discerning the progress of the soul contract by examining what is transpiring on different levels. On a mundane level, the spread can also enhance your understanding of conditions related to relationships, career, finances, and other areas of your life. Look at the illustration, and you will note 3 zones in which the cards are placed. The area of the branches and leaves represents the higher nature or the divine influences that help guide and direct. The area of the tree's trunk symbolizes the world in which you live and the influences that are contributing to the condition of your life. The area of the roots applies to very deep patterns that arise not only from past life experiences, but also from trauma in the current life. Often this trauma comes from early childhood or from events associated with sexuality and well-being, such as physically, emotionally, and spiritually. To use this spread, deal the cards out face down in the pattern detailed in the illustration. within the tree trunk, the positions indicate 1, 1. Now, how did I manage to do that? Okay. So 1 is physical, 2 is mental, 3 is spiritual, 4 is emotional. Turn up the card in the number 1 position and refer to its divinatory meaning. Look at the imagery of the card and allow it to speak to you with the inner voice. What is the picture saying to you about a physical condition? Okay, so the oak, ash, and tree, right? Tree. The oak, ash, and thorn is, well, let me just read it to you. I know, but my simplifications are not simple. So we're going to go ahead and go and just read it. The divinatory meaning of the oak, ash, and thorn. When this card appears, it addresses a situation that is blocked or guarded. Special actions or attitudes are required in order to gain entrance or passage. So physically, so we're going to read this again. Look at the imagery of the card and allow it to speak to you with the inner voice. Look at the image. What is the picture saying to you about a physical condition? Once you have considered the scripted meaning and then discerned the feeling you get from the picture on the card, render your interpretation of what the card is saying. In essence, this number placement is about the general health and well-being of the individual. This can also apply to material success. So what I get is some sort of blockage, right? So if it's a health thing, it could be a blockage, and or you could be talking about a heart condition. We're not going to go into all that because we're not going to speak any of that into existence, but blockage in your health, right? Then there's blockage finances. Maybe you're blocking your finances somehow, right? Maybe you're focusing too much on what you don't have and not being grateful enough for what you do have, right? Or maybe you're choosing sloth over action, and so you're not showing up for work when and where you should, right? It could be any of those things, right? Because it does say your health or material success. Repeat this interpretation formula for each of the remaining areas: mental, spiritual, and emotional. So if this card, right, was here, we would have a mental block or a spiritual block, right? Mental, emotional, spiritual. And so then we're looking at things, like sadness, depression, feeling lost, things like that, right? Okay, let's go back over here. The next step is to turn up the cards in the number positions. Okay, I thought my phone was ringing. I was like, I know I have the volume off. Once you have thought about the meaning of the 4 cards regarding each category, put the meanings together as you look for an overall view of the condition of the person in the reading. The next step is to turn up the cards in the number positions 5, 6, 7, and 8. Within the branches, the positions indicate 5. What divine or higher forces affix to the soul in material life? So that's interesting to have between the worlds there, but we're not doing a reading. 6. The influence on the soul regarding its ability to communicate, convey, and create. Oh, that's a good card. I love that card anywhere. 7. How change is directed or maintained regarding the soul's experience in life. I'm just not looking at the cards anymore. I'm just reading where they go. 8. How compassion, love, and empathy surround the soul in life. Turn up the card in the number 5 position and refer to its divinatory meaning. Look at the imagery of the card and feel what it is conveying. What is the picture saying to you about what has been attached to the soul as a physical or material condition? So between the worlds, attached as a physical or material condition, what divine or higher forces affix to the soul and material life? Between the worlds. Dang it. I knew I shouldn't have. Oh, we're going to have to go find it. Between the worlds. Let's go to the table of contents. Okay, between the worlds. Between the worlds, page 40. You can skip this part if you like. Between the worlds. Boom. Divinatory meaning. When this card appears, it suggests that your vision is not yet clear enough to manifest your desire. There are too many ideas, distractions, or daydreams in sight. Manifestation requires clarity and a better focus. The card may also indicate a delay in plans unfolding. Things are in the works, but more is needed to accomplish the goal. Dun, dun, dun. So that applies. If it were a reading. It's not a reading, but if it were, now we know, right? Okay. Where were we? I don't remember. Okay, what is the picture saying to you about what has been attached to the soul as a physical or material condition? We just went over that. I think it's pretty clear. I love that. This can include social status. Ooh. Once you have considered the scripted meaning and discerned the feeling generated from the picture on the card, render your interpretation of the card's meaning. In essence, this number placement is about the life conditions that the soul has entered into, which can include financial status, handicaps, physical advantages, talents, and other things that can aid or challenge the experience of material life. Look for the relationship between card numbers 1 and 5. So 1 down here at the base and 5. Now you're going to look at these. Ooh, we have blockages and we have blockages. Okay. This can help determine the outcome of what position 1 signifies when the higher nature is factored in, which means that the long-term effects of the 5 position will prevail. Yeah, because you're going to remove those blockages, right? Whether that means surgery or a cleansing of the soul, right? Purification. Whatever it is you got to do, you remove those blockages. Repeat this interpretation formula for position 6, 7, and 8. The card in the 6th position will show what influences emanate from above and how this aids or challenges the soul with communication skills and creativity relating to the mind, like arts, sciences, and so forth. The card in position 7 will reveal how the soul is aided or challenged in terms of causing or experiencing changes in life. This can be both outer and inner, and can even indicate whether the soul can cause changes in communities and other people, perhaps even the world. The card in position 8 shows how the soul is aided or challenged in its spiritual gifts or spiritual wounds. Spiritual gifts or spiritual wounds. Tree in summer. Ooh, that's a good card. You're going to like the meaning of that card. Okay. This is an important placement, as it is often a key to what the soul needs to accomplish in order to shed its karmic attachment. You want me to go ahead and look at that, don't you? You just want to know? Alright, give me a second. We have Tree in Summer. It's going to be on page 90. Okay, divination meaning for Tree in Summer. When this card appears, it indicates fullness, completion, abundance, a harvest to be realized. The key words are fulfillment, contentment, assurance. And if I continue reading, I'm going to end up reading the whole thing because, as you can tell, I have very little impulse control when it comes to learning more. And I can't. I have to keep going. All right. I'm going to go ahead and reread that last part. The card in position 8 shows how the soul is aided or challenged by its spiritual gifts or spiritual wounds. This is an important placement, as it is often a key to what the soul needs to accomplish in order to shed its karmic attachment. The final phase of the 3 realms spread is the area of the roots of the tree. This area is the subconscious as well as the soul memory of past lives. It is here that you draw upon your strengths and what nourishes you. But here also, you draw upon your fears and what has injured you. This is the place of deep shadows, and these shadows enfold the light of liberation. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, shoot. I'm going to do it. So these cards, as you can tell, I do not have these cards memorized because, like I said, when I use them, it's kind of sparingly. And so I always look up the cards. I do. I always look them up. A lot of times I can look at the card and remember a general overall, understanding. But I want to make sure I give it to you straight. So this card, when this card appears, it signifies that existing bonds endure. The light triumphs, stand together, and success is ensured. It can also mean not to forget to celebrate your achievements. I mean, we hope we're making achievements from life to life, right? It's kind of the purpose. With each new reincarnation, we try to, get it right, because we are on a path of return. We're headed back to source. I marked this, so, okay. Light of liberation. Turn up the cards in the number 9, 10, 11, and 12 positions. Within the roots, these positions indicate 9. What sets and sustains the material condition. 10. What connects, draws in, and sends out. 11. What brings the element of change and transformation. 12. What causes flux and flow, or the lack thereof. Turn up the card in the number 9 position and refer to its divinatory meaning. Look at the imagery of the card and feel what it is conveying. What is the picture saying to you about what keeps feeding your physical or material condition? Once you have considered the scripted meaning and interpreted the feeling generated from the picture on the card, render your interpretation of the card's meaning. In essence, this number placement is about past conditions that have affected the soul. These can include financial status, physical conditions, and the enjoyment of life in family, career, and relationships. Look for the relationship between card numbers 1, 5, and 9, as these are all earth elemental influences. This can help you work toward a resolution or increased understanding of how divine emanations combine with bound energies from the past that are still carried. Yeah, we definitely want to let that go. So this is definitely a good spread for path work, shadow working, right? I think they refer to it as path working. That's what I said. But yeah, shadow working, because we need to incorporate our shadow, right? Our shadow self are those parts of us that we reject, basically, right? We hide them away, we suppress them, and we usually only, I'm not going to get into all that, that's a different video. But anyway, we definitely want to do that. So this is good. I like the way this is going. Let's see. Once the cards are dealt out and interpreted, you can repeat the comparisons of mated cards that share an elemental nature. Okay? So for the elemental nature, you have, of course, the earth, air, fire, and water. So the earth cards are 1, 5, and 9. The air cards are 2, 6, and 10. The fire cards are 3, 7, and 11. The water cards are 4, 8, and 12. By studying these triple matings in each elemental influence, you can discern how your life is being influenced from above and below. This will allow you to take advantage of your strengths and gifts, while at the same time learning how to handle and adjust to the challenges that have attached themselves to your life in this present incarnation. You know, it's funny because I said that I haven't done this, but now I remember I actually have done this, but I had run into the same situation where I didn't have the room, right? So instead of, my back. So instead of laying them out the way that it tells you to, I basically just did, 1, 2, 3, 4, because of the amount of space that I had, right? And then of course here are the rest. And so then by the time I got to the bottom, instead of counting from right to left with these cards, right, I just laid them out again from left to right. So that is why I don't remember doing this. I remember now. I did do this, and I used to use it quite often, actually. Wow, it's amazing the things we forget, and then the when, where, how, and why we remember. I'm going to go back to using this sometimes. Although, like I said, I do I like it. I like it. If you have the space for the tree, I recommend doing it as it's suggested in the book. It is a beautiful diagram to look at and meditate on, if you have the space to do it properly. Mine was a mess, and I apologize for that. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you are getting what you need. And again, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and put them in the comment section below. Or if you're shy like myself, right, I'm always afraid of sticking my foot in my mouth or hurting somebody in some way, right? So I tend to like my conversations to be private. So if you're more comfortable that way, you're always welcome to just send me an email. And as usual, until next time and beyond, please have a blessed and beautiful day.